It's May 3rd, and I look exhausted because I am very ready for bed. It's been a long night. Let's see. Well, long story short, got back to the house today. Um, Obviously, high. I don't know. We got an email basically saying she was acting odd and in the kitchen, in the refrigerator, eating a bunch of food, and she was clearly high. And so we had a meeting tomorrow anyway for her and the group of staff. So she started calling me incessantly tonight, and I talked to her dad and was like, can we talk to her together, because I know it's going to be the same story. She hates it there. She wants to leave. She'd rather be homeless, blah, blah, blah. I just realized I only have one ear in. Yeah, I'm a shit show. But anyway, I just got off the phone with her. Her dad really was rough on her, basically told her, she's living off the state, she's living off of us, she's not doing anything. Everything, the situation she's in is all her doing. I mean, he did the whole tough love thing, which I think had to be said, and everything he said was true. It just came out abrasively, I'd say. And she's pulling the old, it's everyone else's fault. She doesn't like the rules, blah, 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 blah. It's our fault. It's the staff's fault. It's whoever's, anybody but her. So she's just refusing any responsibility. And he eventually just hung up because, I mean, she's insistent. She's going to a homeless shelter. She doesn't care. She's leaving there. Doesn't matter what we say or do. She's going to a homeless shelter where she doesn't have the rules and she can smoke pot, I guess. And, we're just like, yeah, you're being ridiculous. Oh, and she's going to be a stripper too. Yeah, that's how she'll get her money, I guess. So, her dad's just like, yeah, well, you can stop using that card and stop. It's like she uses it, to get at us or to blackmail us to do what she wants. Like, I'm not happy, I have rules, so I'm gonna do this to you guys. And her dad was spot on. He's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Go do what you want to do. You're almost 21. Mom and I have done what we could. We've exhausted ourselves trying to help you, and if you want to do that, go for it. And I reiterated, like, yep, we're done. We're hitting our threshold here. There's not much more we can do. And of course, that's not what I want to happen. But honestly, I don't know if she has to hit that rock bottom in order to realize how good she actually has it. So, yeah, I said, if she does that, then I'm done. Like, I'm done. She's on her own, and her dad's done. So we'll see what happens. He hung up. I stayed on with her for another hour and listened to her. And I think what it came down to, and the one one time where she made sense, and she did, was she feels very shamed for smoking pot. And she said, how would you like it if there was a certain food that you loved, that you craved, that made you feel better, and everyone shamed you for it, and they told you couldn't have it. And it made me feel like someone who's overweight, who's addicted to food or whatever, that's their comfort, and here we are shaming them for it. And to an extent, I get that, and I agree that that's not the way to go about it. Shaming her for it is not helping. It's never helped. We've got to figure out another way. I just don't know what it is. I told her I agreed with that. I don't want to shame her for it. She thinks she knows what's best for her body, whatever. She's also in a federal program where they can't have marijuana, but it also triggers her mania. So I know I'm rambling because I'm tired, but again, I just want to put this on here real and raw for you guys. Yeah, and at one point, you know, her dad's like, what have you done? What have you done to better yourself? What have you done to show us that you are working on yourself to make things better? What have you accomplished? And the problem with me is when I get nervous, which I was feeling like a lot of anxiety, I get giggly. That's just what happens. I mean, I can go to a freaking funeral and get giggly. It's a horrible nervous habit. But anyway, she says, well, I'm planning to take belly dancing. And I don't know why, for some reason, that just like, I just cracked. I literally, like, I was hysterically laughing. I had to literally take the phone away, like, hold the phone away, because here we are grasping for what is it you're doing to better yourself. And she's like, well, I'm planning to take belly dancing. And I think with all the stress, it just triggered like this. Honestly, I was hysterically laughing and I felt so bad because it was just bad timing. It was just the irony of it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry to ramble, guys, but I was going to wait until tomorrow, but I want to show it like it is. And by the end of the conversation, she still was planning to go to a homeless shelter, but at least she's going to wait until tomorrow. And she did tell me she's, and this is how it ended too. Well, can I just call you later? I mean, we're going on, you know, it's late right now. It's really late. Can I call you later? I'm getting annoyed. And I said, well, how about I call you? We'll talk tomorrow. And yeah, she said she loved me, which was good. So I'm going to go to bed now and I'm going to say a little prayer and I'm going to think positive thoughts because, guys, again, even when it feels like there's no hope, you got to detach and you got to look out for yourself and you got to believe that some other power is going to come in and pick this up. And every time we hit a rough spot like this, it's like a challenge, but in my mind, it's not the end of the world. It's just every time there's a challenge, something good comes out of it. So I feel like something positive is going to come out of this. Had this happened a year or two ago, that I would have been a nervous wreck thinking there's no hope, but I am holding on. I am holding on strong that this is happening for a friggin' reason and we're all gonna learn something from it. She's gonna learn something from it. I'm gonna learn something from it. Hopefully you guys watch the unfolding and we'll see. So I love you guys. We're all in this together. I will update you tomorrow after the meeting. It is May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. Unfortunately, I did not check in yesterday because I had my COVID vaccination 2 days ago and it knocked my butt out. So yesterday was a rough one. Spent in bed with a fever and body aches and itchiness and everything else. So thankfully I was able to get myself up and dressed and at work today. But I did have my meeting with and her providers yesterday. I did manage to make it to that. It was difficult, but I did it. And her dad, of course. And like I said, I was going to hope for the best and had said there was no way she was going to that meeting. She was going to a homeless shelter and that was that. But that night, like I had told you guys, I said my prayers. I envisioned the best and she showed up for the meeting, which was awesome. So that was a good sign. She seemed like she had checked out. So she's definitely on the, I don't want to live in a place like this. I don't want to be in a program. I'm out of here. And her therapist was had the day off, but her nurse and the director was there. And I just love the way they speak with her. They're very kind and compassionate, and they're able to talk to her rationally without her getting defensive, because she really just doesn't, she isn't at a place where she wants to hear what her dad and I have to say. Her dad was pretty harsh with her, but everything he said was realistic and accurate. So I thought it was a good tough love method. He's sick and tired of her making threats to go to a homeless shelter, and quite frankly, so am I, and he let her have it. He ended up hanging up on the conversation, and I ended up speaking with her for quite a bit afterwards, and she continues to be rude to me, but guess what? I just, in one ear, out the other. I don't let that bother me anymore. She was completely rude at yesterday's meeting and basically said, well, she said, I just don't want you guys to be my parents anymore. And what I think she meant was, I don't want you to have guardianship. And like we tell her every time, we don't want this. We want you to live on your own. We don't want to have guardianship. The whole guardianship is for when you get hospitalized so we can talk to the doctors. But of course, you know, now we have to sign everything. She feels controlled, but she's still making these choices that it's like, show us that you can be an adult and we don't need guardianship. I want her to adult and to make some choices. So, but anyway, she basically said she has a friend she wants to move in with. It's a male friend who none of us have heard of. Probably someone she met online. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole, but we told her, or the staff told her, listen, that's okay that you want to go live on your own in your own apartment, but what are you going to do about furniture? What are you going to do about pots and pans? And you're not going to get the same amount from disability. She just doesn't get it. She doesn't think it through. And again, she's 20. I guess none of us really thought things through, but she especially doesn't think it through. And I really want to try to make a long story short. The meeting went as well as it could. I have high hopes. I see that the staff there care about her. They're going to help her. When I spoke up, I said, I just didn't understand why she doesn't have a job, why she's not on a schedule, not volunteering, not taking classes, not getting her license. These are all things we've been discussing. And she, I'm sure, has been digging her heels in, but I don't know how much they've enforced it either. And I have to keep saying, get her on a schedule, get her busy. When you've got ADHD and your mind is racing with, when you have bipolar, I mean, come on, you need to have a schedule and stay focused. This alone time in your bedroom on social media is not helpful for anybody. She needs to get out and about. And she's a very social person anyway. So that was the agreement, that they're going to get her. We've heard it before. I hope they do it. I'm not putting this program down, but I am saying she has not utilized this program to meet her needs. She really needs to do that, and it's a two-way street. They need to help push her, but she really needs to engage. And she has a mentor now who is the belly dancing instructor, I believe, but whatever, she's going to meet with her. So they've got a schedule figured out that she is going to start taking driving lessons, which will be good. I think the girl just needs to feel busy, to feel challenged, to feel like she is productive in some way. Apparently she stopped going to the gym altogether. She had been going 2 times a day, and then she stopped going altogether. And what's interesting is when they put her back on Adderall, so they took her off the Vyvanse, put her on Adderall. I don't know what the heck happened there, and that's when she started using marijuana again, and that's when it all goes downhill. And they even said it. They're like, you are a leader in this house. You do so well. You're friendly, very, very pleasant to be around. But when you smoke pot, you turn into someone totally different. You don't want to talk to anybody. You go to your room. You become depressed. You just want to eat. I still don't understand the draw to the marijuana. Apparently it makes her feel better, but I can tell you she doesn't act like she feels better. Her motivation goes way down. Marijuana is not her friend, and she thinks it's her saving grace. And this is where the problem lies. And I think until she discovers that for herself, her dad and I are going to have to try to stay as involved as we can without overstepping. So that's how it went. She when So by the time it ended, she was still being kind of rude to me. Whatever. I'm used to that. I don't let that bother me. I know she loves me. I love her. I woke up this morning to a heart emoji, which was quite sweet. I mean, those are the little things that keep me going. I sent her a text back saying that means the world. Just that heart emoji means the world to me. I reiterated to her that we by no means want to shame her, that I know how she feels because I felt like I wasn't living up to my father's expectations when I was growing up, and I know how it feels to feel less than or shamed, or you just, no matter what you do, you can't live up to their expectations. And I just tried to tell her on the parent side of things, we see so much potential. We want to encourage her to make the right choices. So we're just on two different wavelengths here, and I hope someday she understands that. I hope she hears this someday and realizes how special I know she is. I know she's got something inside of her that's, she just has so much more to offer than what she's offering right now. And she'll get there. I believe it. I'm still holding on to this hope. So she's still saying she wants to leave. They gave her options for other living arrangements, which would be through programs, but maybe getting her own apartment, just having someone come in, or several options, and she said no to all of them. She said she's willing to live there a little bit longer, but her goal is to leave, to live on her own in her own apartment. And so I think we're going to give it a month and see where we're at. So I have high hopes. I hope you guys can all feel the same about your children, and I'll stay in touch.